Do you think that you're too old to do yoga? Or more specifically, do you think that you're too old to do man flow yoga? In this video, I'm going to give you the very honest answer, and some of the reasons I give you might actually surprise you. Check out this video to learn why you're probably not too old for yoga. Hey guys, it's Dean. Welcome to Man Flow Yoga. In this video, I'm going to be talking about why you're not too old for yoga, and more specifically, why you're probably not too old for Man Flow Yoga. But before I do that, I want to ask you to subscribe. Make sure you don't miss out on any of the videos that we put out here, and hit the bell button to get notifications when those new videos are released. And of course, if you like the video, go ahead and click the like button. I do have a question for you, and I'd like for you to respond here. Why do you think that you'd be too old for yoga? If you think that you're too old for yoga, why is that? And if you don't think you're too old for yoga, why do you think other people would think they're too old for yoga? Go ahead and leave your answer here in the comment section below. So let's get into it. The short answer to the question, are you too old to do yoga, is no. But I want to give you a few reasons why that is. And I'll go into those reasons in this video and summarize them right here. The first reason is the actual age of most Man Flow Yoga customers. Number two, I'll talk about why you don't need to be flexible to do yoga. This is a huge misconception, and it's a big reason that keeps a lot of people from doing yoga. Number three, I'll talk about why yoga equals the foundation of your fitness. So what are the aspects of fitness practice in yoga that help to form a solid foundation of physical fitness? And then lastly, I'll give you a bonus reason and talk about the impact of yoga, specifically why it's gentle on your body and why it's suitable for most people. So first off, I'm going to tell you the average age of the customers in the Man Flow Yoga members area, the people who are actually using these programs and these workouts and seeing results, and most of them within their first month. We know their ages not because we're creepy and we're stalk them, but because we actually have conversations with our members. And we do this formally every few months in what we call member talks. And this is when we block off a few hours every day for a week or two, and we invite our members to sign up for conversations with us. So we'll get on the phone or we'll get on a Skype call, and we have real conversations where we talk and they talk and we respond. And during this time, we ask our members questions. We'll ask them personal questions about themselves. We'll ask them how they use the members area. We'll ask them how we can improve the members area. And one of the main questions that we ask them, one of the first questions that we ask them, is for their age. And believe it or not, most of the people who are doing Man Flow Yoga aren't in their 20s. The mode popular age range, so the most popular age range of people who are doing Man Flow Yoga is men and women in their 50s. And this surprises a lot of people because most people see me doing the workouts and they assume that it's people who are similar to my age. But in reality, we've got more people in their 50s than in any other range. And that's not to say that we don't have a fair spread of other ages. We do have a lot of people in their 30s, their 40s, their 60s, and even in their 20s, 70s, and 80s. But if you are 50 and you're wondering whether or not Man Flow Yoga is appropriate for you, or yoga in general, then you're in good company, and I would say that you should not be discouraged by your age. And if you're younger and you're not 50 and you're already doing this type of stuff, then tip of the hat to you, because you are doing something for your longevity that your body is really going to thank you for as you get older. Reason number two, the flexibility excuse. And this is what I hear from tons of people when it comes to them giving excuses or maybe talking about why they're scared of doing yoga. And it's because they don't think they're flexible enough. Now, my response to that might actually surprise you, because I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you're probably not inflexible enough to do yoga. I'm going to tell you that most classes do not appeal to inflexible people. So if you were to go into a random yoga class, or if you were to take a random yoga class online, you're right in thinking that it's probably not appropriate for you because you're not that flexible. But The way that I structure my workouts with Man-Flow Yoga means that you don't have to be flexible to do our workouts. We work primarily with people who don't do a ton of yoga, who aren't super flexible, and so we make our workouts accordingly. We use modifications to make the poses work for you, instead of trying to fit you into a pose that your body is not physically capable of doing without significant injury. So just a few examples to show these modifications. If you're not as flexible in your hips, we're going to have you bring your legs closer together. So if you're doing a lunge pose and you see people bringing their feet really far apart because they're flexible, we're going to have you bring your legs closer together. If you're doing something where you're going to reach down and touch your toes, I'm going to have you bend your knees and use a block to bring the ground up to you. And if you can't do a crazy back bend or do a crazy pose that you see a lot of people doing usually on Instagram, then I'm going to give you a modification that isn't as advanced or not as deep. So flexibility really is just a byproduct of a yoga class, and it shouldn't be a requirement to take or participate in that workout. If you have an instructor who knows how to do the proper modifications, they'll tell you how to do the pose in a way that works for your body. And this makes yoga accessible. The problem is that most yoga classes and most online classes will cater specifically to people who are familiar with yoga, and those people typically aren't inflexible. So if you go to a yoga class and the instructor does a pose, in one way, and you look at it and think, well, there's no way I can possibly do that. The problem is that there's so many people in the class that they're not going to be able to come around and specifically show you this is how you're supposed to do this. They just don't have the time for that. But if you are following a workout that's specifically made for someone who's not inflexible or doesn't have a lot of yoga experience, that's going to make it way more accessible to you, and you'll be able to do yoga whether or not you're flexible. The third reason why you're not too old to do yoga or Man-Flow Yoga is because this should be the foundation of your fitness. This is fitness at its most basic level, in a good way. Low impact, no impact body weight exercises, focusing on holds to help you build your body awareness, basic strength and flexibility, being able to balance. These are all basic levels of fitness. And again, basic in a good way, and that they form a foundation of fitness. And if you don't have this foundation of fitness, it's going to make a lot of other types of fitness challenging. So one big type of strength that we focus on in our workouts, and some yoga does as well, is this concept of isometric strength. And this is strength building from a static position or a non-moving position. This is strength at its most basic level, level 1. And adding movement, reps, or more dynamic movement is how you make the exercises more challenging or more difficult. But if you don't have that ability to hold the exercise with isometric strength, then you probably don't want to move on to doing more dynamic stuff until you've mastered that isometric element. And you might be thinking here, what makes isometric exercise so special? Well, while you're doing it, you're able to focus on all of those things that I mentioned, which are foundational to your fitness, which is contrary to when you're moving very quickly. So when you're staying still, when you're doing isometric exercises, you're able to work on your body awareness. You're working on your muscle activation. You're able to build body weight strength and endurance. And you're able to establish a baseline of flexibility and strength while working on moving your body with your breath. So it's all of those things that are foundational to not just yoga, but any type of fitness. And doing things slowly or isometrically allows you to build that strength. And if you don't believe me, then I want you to think about how physical therapists practice. And if you've ever been to a physical therapy clinic or you've ever recovered from an injury, you'll know that this is true. Because in order to build strength with their patients while they're recovering, they'll start with isometric exercises. They'll have you do these holds that work specifically on building strength or building body awareness, because that's the first level of fitness. And you might notice that if you've practiced a lot of Man-Flow Yoga before, or you've done any of our workouts, there's a lot of overlap between what we do and what you'll see in a physical therapy clinic, because it's just that effective. I put the most effective exercises that I can, and that just happens to include stuff that you'll see in physical therapy. So weight training, running, boot camps, calisthenics, these are all great examples of workouts that you can do once you've established a foundational level of strength and mobility. But in order to get there, you need to establish an adequate level of strength and mobility. And you'll get that by doing these slow-moving, isometric-focused workouts that you'll get in some yoga classes, and more specifically, in all of our strength-focused man-flow yoga workouts. All right, and here's your bonus reason. I would be remiss if I did not mention the fact that yoga is low impact or gentle on your body. And I say low impact, but really it's no impact because you're not even moving. You're holding a posture. And this means that it's joint friendly and it won't hurt like some other types of exercises or higher forms or higher impact forms of exercise. I can't tell you how many people that I've spoken with who are now doing man-flow yoga that had to stop doing the exercises they were doing. P90X, boot camps, CrossFit, these things that were more high impact, but they had to stop because their bodies hurt so much that they couldn't do the workouts. And if you're doing a workout, if you're following a workout program like that consistently and you're constantly in pain, that's not how exercise should feel. But what's really cool about man-flow yoga is that it allows you to get results, to build strength, to work on your flexibility, to build functional fitness. But once you've worked on that, you can also go back to some of the things that might have caused you pain or discomfort before, and now that you have more strength or more of a foundational level of fitness, you'll be able to do those activities with less discomfort or maybe no discomfort and no pain. So that's something that I think is really cool about man-flow yoga, and once you've incorporated what you've learned in man-flow yoga, that strength, the muscle activation, the improved mobility, you'll notice that your other workouts get much better as well. So the answer to your question here, are you too old to do yoga or man-flow yoga, is no, as long as you're practicing it in a certain way. If you're not flexible, you shouldn't be doing a typical yoga class. You should be doing a yoga that focuses on or provides modifications for people who are inflexible. You also want to make sure that you're practicing yoga in a way that helps you build foundational strength, that works on body weight strength, that works on establishing a baseline of flexibility, working on your balance, working on muscle activation, and working on integrating your breath with movement. And the cool thing about that is, once you start to do that, once you get stronger with that type of yoga, or basically what I'm talking about here with man-flow yoga, is that you'll be able to do more intense exercise as well, and you won't have as much discomfort or pain if you are used to having discomfort or pain in those higher impact exercises. If you want to get started with this beginner-friendly, no flexibility required type of yoga that I've created here with man-flow yoga, head to my website, manflowyoga.com/join, and you can sign up for just $1, and that will get you access to all of my programs and all of my workouts and a bunch of exclusive content that you're not going to see here on this channel. If you're not ready to sign up yet, I do have a free program called the 7-Day Intro to Man-Flow Yoga, which is a really cool program that I put together that walks you through 7 different topics, that gives you exercises, that gives you workouts to follow, and also teaches you yoga along the way. You can sign up for that in the description, link in the description here below, manflowyoga.com/intro. Lastly, I've also added some workouts here from this channel to help you explore man-flow yoga workouts a little more. So I've talked about what makes man-flow yoga different and why you should be able to do man-flow yoga workouts even if you are older, and you can see that for yourself in the workouts here that I provided. Feel free to use those as often as you like. And that's it, guys. So thanks for watching this video. Again, if you haven't subscribed, be sure to subscribe to this channel. We put out tons of great content on a regular basis. If you want to learn more about man-flow yoga, go to manflowyoga.com. If you like the video, be sure to like it. I'll be looking forward to seeing you on the next video. So thanks for watching and have a good one.